Lights, camera, action. No, that's okay. Ready? Good evening. Welcome to the City of Hialeah Planning and Zoning Board meeting for Wednesday, June 26, 2024. Everyone please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Lord, we thank you for this night here. We ask that you please watch over us, guide us, and help us make the right decisions for all those involved. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Are we expecting anyone in Zoom tonight?
No.
No?
Meeting guidelines. The following guidelines apply to today's planning and zoning board meeting. Any person, whether participating via the web platform, telephonic conferencing, or physical presence at City Hall, interested in making comments or posing questions on any item on the agenda may do so during the meeting. Members of the public may hear the meeting live through telephonic conferencing using any telephone or cellular phone service. A smart device or a computer are not necessary to participate in the meeting if you join by phone. All persons participating via the web platform will be muted during the meeting until called upon to be heard. Participation through Zoom requires a computer or smart mobile device with a microphone and web camera. The participant may elect to participate in the meeting using audio only or appear through both audio and video. The video function of all participants appearing through video will be turned off until called upon to be heard. All lobbyists must register with the Planning and Zoning Board prior to item being heard. A maximum of 4 speakers in favor and 4 speakers in opposition will be allowed to address the Planning and Zoning Board on any item. Each speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Roll call. Mr. Perez.
Here.
Mr. Mason.
Here.
Mr. Iglesias.
Here.
Mr. Jimenez is absent. Mr. Ulloa.
Here.
Mr. Sophia Esteban.
Here.
Mrs. Enriquez. Here. We have a quorum. Administration of oath to all applicants and anyone who will be speaking before the board on any item.
Anyone and everyone that's going to speak in front of the board, please stand, raise your hand.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before this board? ¿Usted jura o afirma decir la verdad ante esta junta?
Okay, thank you. Let the record show. The answer was in the affirmative and he just made it too. All right.
Summary minutes or a copy of the audio file of the proceedings before the Planning and Zoning Board shall be prepared and submitted to the City Council before its hearing. The Planning and Zoning Board recommendations for the following public hearing requests will be heard by the City Council at a scheduled meeting of Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. LU 1, small scale map amendment from low density residential to commercial. Properties located at southeast corner of West 72nd Street and West 12th Avenue. Folio number 04-2025-015-0140. Hialeah zones R3, multiple family district. Applicant Sunshine Date Investment LLC. And it looks like they're not. Okay.
The property in this application is at the northwest corner of the block located at West 72nd Street and West 12th Avenue. This is a small out parcel of 3,375 square feet of land owned by the same property owner of the larger adjacent lot where a gas station is located. The gas station has been established since the 1970s. When it received rezoning from C2 to C3 according to City Ordinance 2341 approved on June 9, 1970. The out parcel has remained as a vacant landscape land since back then. The land use to the north is residential low and medium density, and to the west is residential low density and commercial. Lastly, to the east and south, the land use is commercial. West 12th Avenue is a commercial corridor with an array of uses and businesses. Therefore, the land use amendment from residential low density to commercial of an out parcel corner is consistent with the surrounding area. Recommendation approval with a unity of title.
Is the applicant here?
The applicant is here, no?
I do not see them present, no.
This is the gas station that they will renovate completely. They will demolish and build new. So they will expand into that corner lot, but if you look at the plans, it will also be landscaping. But there's a part of the driveway that will fall there.
To the chair, it's the part of the actual, the little land.
Yeah, the
little
little
corner.
land that you have here in the radius map is
Okay.
only this little portion. On West 12 and West 72nd.
It's a shell.
Okay. Any
For
comments,
this,
questions?
This is where you wanted to find parking from. So the parking is gone. Yeah.
All right. Comments or questions? Anyone in the audience? Anyone in Zoom? Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Enrica, second by Mr. Santiesteban. Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Santiesteban,
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez. Yes. Mr. Mason.
Yeah.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Okay, this was LU1, right?
Yes.
And LU2 is,
Well, I'm gonna read it now into the.
Deborah, was that approved on the condition that a unity of title be furnished? Okay, so the,
Anyway, they will need it because they will need to come for the concurrence and site plan review.
Okay.
And we won't review.
so they need a unity of title.
Now I know why they don't answer my clients' calls.
Yeah.
LU2. Small scale map amendment from low density residential to major institutions. Property is located at 375 East 17th Street, Hialeah zoned R2, 1 and 2 Family Residential District. Applicant Cesar Mestre, Esquire, on behalf of 375 East 17th Street LLC.
Cesar Mestre, offices at 8105 Northwest 155th Street, Miami Lakes, Florida.
The property in this application is located on the north side of East 17th Street, west of East 4th Avenue. The property is currently owned by 375 East 17th Street LLC and is improved with a 1,086 square feet single-family home built in 1947. The property abuts two properties to the north and a corner property to the east, all owned by DP Real Estate Holdings LLC. Despite being under different corporate names, 375 East 17th Street LLC and DP Real Estate Holdings LLC are registered under the same owner, Demetrio J. Perez. The adjacent properties to the north, 1780 East 4th Avenue and 1750 East 4th Avenue, have commercial land use and B1 and R2 zoning, and were improved as a school in 2003, currently operating as Lincoln Marti Schools. The property to the east, 1705 East 4th Avenue, has commercial land use and B1 zoning, and is also used by the school. This property was acquired by the school in 2002, and there are no building department records of its change of use from a restaurant to its current use as a school. The applicant bought the subject property in 2007, and it came to the city's attention that despite being a single-family home, it was used together with the school and also had an educational tax exemption. Given that the property was developed as a single-family home, its use for a school is not allowed under the existing low-density residential land use and R2 zoning classification, and a building permit is required for the change in occupancy. In order to be able to change the residential occupancy to educational occupancy, the applicant is before the city with a land use amendment request from low-density residential to major institutions to be able to start the process of integrating the property into the adjacent school grounds. The owner plans to consult with city staff during the rezoning and conditional use permit application phase in order to better understand the permit history, permit requirements, and zoning actions required to bring the property into compliance. Given that the adjacent property's current use as a school already exists, and the owner's intention is to legalize the school's expansion into the subject site, Major institutions would be the appropriate land use. Accordingly, the application may be approved with the condition that the unit of title is proper and that the required corrective actions, including but not limited to rezoning, conditional use permit, and building permitting get completed within 18 months. Recommendation approved with condition.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Mr. Smith.
Yes, we have a small presentation. Just to give you an idea of the layout. As he said, it's 375 East 17th Street, which is presently a single-family home. Show you the slide number 1. If you see where the square is, that's the property that we're talking about. And this is part of Lincoln Marti Charter School on East 4th Avenue between 17th and 18th Street. If you look just to the right of the property that we're talking about, that corner, that's already part of the school. And if you look on top of it, and the one next to it, those two are also part of the school already. So those three already make up the school. And then this one, we're trying to get back into compliance with what's required. They bought it back in 2007, and we want to make sure that it becomes part of our bigger plans. The next slide shows you the zoning. As Deborah said, the corner lots are commercial. And although this diagram shows that it's kind of in the back, it has residential. The one in the back is also part of the school was commercial. Next slide. This is just to give you an idea. The first one on the left is on the corner of East 4th Avenue and 18th Street. The one on the right is the second lot in from the corner. As you can see, it has the Marti School signs on there. Next one, it's left side is a picture again of the Lincoln Marti School, which is the second lot in. The next picture on the right is just looking south on East 18th Street and East 4th Avenue. Next slide shows you the one before that. Yeah, that one. The one on the left shows you the actual property that we're talking about, the single family house that was built in 1947. And then the one on the right shows you basically all 4 lots. The house, the corner lot on the south side, corner lot on the north side, and then the second lot in. The next one is an overhead shot showing you that the school is located directly behind us. So basically what we're trying to do here is bring this into compliance. As Deborah said, this is step number 1, just changing the land use to major institutions so we can go ahead and rezone it and ask for the conditional use permit required for the education. So based on this and staff's recommendation, I would respectfully ask for a recommendation of approval.
Is this property going to be used as part of the school as far as classrooms or for teaching?
What I was told is that it's going to be used for storage, and it looks like there's some kind of play field there already. So I think that's what they're planning on doing.
So we're not talking about demolishing it and making it into a parking lot.
No, we're not talking about parking lots, and we're not talking about demolitions. If we did, we would have to come before you
Obviously.
to do anything like that.
Well, they will
But that's
have
not
to
the plan.
go through building to change the use, no, from a house.
Right, right.
To the educational use.
No, it's just because, that's been the trend lately,
Yeah.
we're not going to go there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but that's not the plan here.
Okay, thank
Well,
you.
you can put conditions when they come for the conditional use permit, since this is adjacent to a single family home. You can put conditions on the type of use that they can have at that building.
Okay. Comments or questions? Anyone in the audience? Anyone in the electronic audience? All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve with conditions.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Iglesias, second by Mrs. Enriquez and Mr. Ulloa. Mr. Jimenez? Mr. Jimenez is not here. Mr. Santiesteban?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes, with a guayabera.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
I like those shirts, by the way. Very nice.
I'm gonna have to bring my Guayabera next time. Okay, all right, so that will close out the land use part of the meeting. And we will continue with the scheduled planning and zoning meeting.
Item number 1, approval of planning and zoning board summary agenda of June 2024 as submitted.
Motion to approve?
Second that motion?
So we had a motion by Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mr. Shanti Esteban,
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez.
Yes.
Mr. Perez.
Yes,
Item has been approved.
this is what I like about this board. You all know what time it is. You're on the ball. Thank you. There he is. Let the record show that Mr. Jimenez is on time for this item.
A written decision and resolution will be prepared and presented for review to the city council. The city council is authorized to affirm with conditions, or override the decisions by resolution. After the resolution is adopted, contact the member of the city clerk's office to obtain a copy of the final decision or resolution. Upon your receipt of the final decision or resolution, contact the building department to obtain your required building permit. Summary minutes or a copy of the audio file of the proceedings before the planning and zoning board shall be prepared and submitted to the city council before its hearing. The planning and zoning board recommendations for the following public hearing requests will be heard by the city council at a scheduled meeting of Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. Item number 2, rezoning property from R3 Multiple Family District to C3 Extended Liberal Commercial District. Property is located at southeast corner of West 72nd Street and West 12th Avenue. Folio number 04-2025-015-0140. Hialeah zoned R3 Multiple Family District. Applicant Sunshine Date Invest LLC.
This is the same gas station. The parcel in this application, did they contact us and get this recommendation? Since we are approving with conditions. We can hear the application, or maybe we can table it because there are several conditions and the applicant did not reach out to get the report and is not here to approve the conditions, so I think.
They should be here to proffer to the
Yeah,
conditions, so.
Exactly, yeah.
You feel comfortable tabling it,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
even though it's gonna be until August?
Well, they should have been here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna argue with you on that one. Okay, so can we get a motion to table?
Motion to table?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion from Mr. Shanti Esteban, second by Mr. Mason and Mrs. Enriquez. Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Shanti Esteban,
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mr. Jimenez.
Yes.
Item has been tabled.
So then I want to make a suggestion because the previous item, now he'll have to come back for city, planning and zoning, then city council, then planning and zoning, then city council, then city council,
Well,
then city council.
They can request to table it at the first reading of the city council, but.
Would
they
you
can-
prefer to table the item?
They can go ahead with the land use.
Okay.
Then they come for the rezoning. Then if they want to have everything the same day, they can ask to postpone the item.
Can we pass these back over here, please? Yeah.
Okay. Miscellaneous items not requiring advertising. Item number 3, tentative plat of Escardio Center.
Through the board, through the chair, through the chair.
Yes.
I'm recusing myself of possible conflict.
Okay. That will be this one, right? So you need that.
This is a replat of 4 lots to consolidate them as a tract. They already came here for rezoning and land use amendment. So the comment for the Department of Public Works is there are 2 existing sewer mains abutting your property along East First Avenue and East First Court. There is an existing 8-inch sewer main abutting property along East 49th Street. There is a 2-inch water main running across the property. Easement was abandoned and recorded. Sanitary sewer flow goes to pump station 04062 in okay status. If there is a change of use, approval is required from the City Department of Public Works and the Fire Department, Police Department, Streets Division, Parks and Recreation, and Planning Unit have no objection. So the recommendation is approved.
Okay, we have a recommendation of approval. Can we get a
Motion
comments or questions?
Motion to approve?
And a motion.
We have a motion by Mr. Iglesias, second by Mrs. Enriquez. Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Jimenez?
Yes.
Item has been approved. Item number 4, old business. Okay, no old business. Item number 5, new business.
New business. I wish everyone a nice little recess. Be safe. Go out on your boat, do a lot of fishing.
Thank you, sir.
I will definitely go out on my RV. So
Throw your hat in the ring.
enjoy it and try and stay dry.
Come to the 4th of July event.
Oh, that's right.
in
Yeah,
my laptop.
that's right. Don't forget, we have a very festivity. All right, so that being said, any other questions, comments? That's it.